Hey, what's
I
going
don't
on?
know because they're in weird positions, right? Like you can't.
You
talk.
can lift it up
Oh,
if you want.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me like this. All right.
I was thinking about something, Jake. You know, he has an incredible resume. Anderson Silva has done it all. He has fought them all. He has won so many big fights. Greatest start to a UFC career ever, and that record still stands. Is it possible that you, at just 5-0, actually has more pressure on his shoulders than Anderson Silva, the guy who's crossing over to fight the youngster, but there's so much more that you want to accomplish in this sport? I'm wondering if you actually feel like you have more pressure on your shoulders.
For sure, definitely. You know, just being the A side and you know that alone, and the amount of shit I talk to people. I think the whole MMA community is waiting for me to lose. They want me to lose, and yeah, I just have so many more. You know, big ideas and big plans in this sport, and I plan on being here forever. So this is the start of that, and yeah, the pressure's on. You know, I'm the young guy, and man, he's really really good. So and has more experience. He has the weight, he has the height, he has the reach. So really, all the odds are stacked against me.
I think this man is crazy for fighting you.
Wow, for you come to fight this matter how the combat sport, you a little crazy. I'm a little crazy too.
But you enjoy that kind of craziness, I would imagine.
Absolutely, you know, this is not for everybody, you know. Everybody here, these guys here is special guys, you know, and for sure everybody here is a little crazy.
When you watch his training footage, Jake, when you see him on the mitts yesterday at the Open?
Very, very fast, very rangy, very technical, good defense, good movement. I'll have to be perfect on Saturday night, and I know I'm capable of doing that, but it is going to be a very, very tough test, and I'm ready for war. And I think, you know, skill aside, it might come down to who wants it more, and I believe that is me.
Do you agree with that, Anderson? Do you think he wants it more than you?
That's the competition, you know. Everything is possible, but I training hard for make a good show for everybody.
One last one from me to you. We've seen you on so many big stages before, the Rich Franklin fights, the Forrest Griffin fights, Damian Maia, and later on the great fights that you had. I'm wondering, a win over Jake Paul, considering where you're at in your life, in your career, in this new sport, newish sport now for you, where would you rank this accomplishment? If you win on Saturday, where would you put that amidst all the great things that you've accomplished in your fighting career?
Wow, I think is a very special for me. But I believe in after that I go to Dubai to fight jiu-jitsu, and I think is a challenge come to everybody here, and come the new challenge for Jake too. And I'm feel this come very special for everybody here, you know.
This guy's not slowing down. He's already got his next fight booked. He's going to Dubai. I mean, geez, Louise, 47? Look like 27, Anderson. You look fantastic.
I mean,
You've been working with Dr. Mike over there for some of that.
I try to do my best, you know, because I love fighting. I love my job. And now I'm free to do everything I like to do, you know. And I talk to my jiu-jitsu coach in Dubai, Ramon Lemos, in Abu Dhabi, and I go to the tournament, jiu-jitsu tournament with the gi.
C-level Kane, motivated BJ, free Anderson, a very dangerous fighter. I think we're starting to learn that. All right, let's go to the media for some questions here.
We're not getting Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, but we are getting Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. What is your message out there to the boxing world for the fans that want to see the biggest fights being made, and it seems like you're continuing to make them?
Yeah, get these fights done. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Stop being greedy. Give people what they want. You don't look at every term in the contract and try to change it. Just fucking fight. You spar every day. Why not get paid fucking tens of millions of dollars to do it in front of people? They're very scared to risk their undefeated records, but boxing needs these big fights. Don't let your manager stop you. Don't let your promoter stop you. You got to be in control.
Question for Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon, 5 years ago I told you that you'd be fighting an MMA fighter on the undercard of one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and a social media maven, and a doctor, coming off of a knockout of an NFL player, what would you have told me?
I'd have said you were wild. I'd have said you're a wild man. I didn't obviously plan for that to, happen at that time 5-6 years ago, but over the course of my NFL career, me picking up boxing as extra cardio, I just fell in love with it, and then, once I started sparring and, actually competing with other, fighters and things like that, I knew this was what I wanted to do.
A big favorite going into this fight. You have way more combat sports experience than your opponent. Do you feel any pressure that you have to do something dominant, that there's nothing but domination expected from you?
Yeah, this is awkward. A fight is a fight. It changes when you go out there. Sometimes you have to adjust. We're both athletes at the end of the day. I know he's a powerful dude. I know he's confident. You can't really focus on those outside negative affirmations. You got to stay present, and that's what I've learned from my experience doing this. I got to be present, and I'm just looking forward to have some fun. He's good. It's a challenge for me. It's a step up. It's outside my comfort zone, and I love that. I love a challenge.
To David Benavidez' neighborhood. My question is, I noticed that you mentioned Benavidez yesterday or sometime this week as a fighter, as your favorite fighter, and somebody that you would like to promote. I think he's tied to a promoter now, but what if he said, let's fight?
Me and David? Man, I'm not ready for a world champion at his caliber yet. But I don't know. I haven't thought about that possibility.
I mean, could you envision that someday?
I don't know. I think...
I mean, he can't find anybody to fight him.
Yeah.
Nobody will fight
You're
him.
going to have to keep looking.
Thanks.
The problem child activated. And we've seen you talk about your meditation and this different kind of Jake Paul who's coming up. What is the difference between, if this is an alter ego, the problem child, and the Jake Paul that you are on a normal basis?
Yeah, I think when you get into that ring, you got to be ruthless, savage. You got to, be willing to do whatever it takes going through those darkest moments in the ring. You have to be a killer or you will be killed. And so that's where the problem child comes from. I'm a problem for anyone that's in the ring with me. And I can put you out at any second. I don't give a fuck. I'm a different person. I don't care about consequences when I'm in that alter ego. And I come alive. I come alive when I'm in that ring. And it's not, it's not Jake. It's someone else that I tap into.
And Anderson, you're referred to as the GOAT of UFC. Most people agree with that. Do you accept that this fight goes against your legacy, and that if you are beat on Saturday night, that counts against you as the GOAT and your legacy as a fighter?
Well, I don't believe that affect nothing in my legacy, in my journey in this combat sport. I believe I try to do my best to give something for the new generation, and Jake and I put two big generations together, and people think, oh, this affect my legacy or affect the Jake legacy, but I don't believe that, because it's about passion, it's about love, toys.
It's a lot of toys.
Yeah, a lot of toys.
This is the Schmo with the Schmo Zone. Question for the problem child, Jake Paul. You said there's people within your team that advised you against taking this fight. So at what point during training camp do you feel like you won those naysayers over?
I would say within like 2 weeks. I don't know. Is Logan here? What? You were like, are you sure you want to do this? And then now you probably think I'm going to win, all right?
Anderson, I love you.
I love you too, buddy. No, definitely not. Definitely not. No. You see the movie Hockey and Apollo? You see that when the guy's training in the last scene in the movie, they both give the punch, but you never know who's the win. Maybe next.
Sorry, my brother.
No.
It only has one way. So I love you, but to answer your question, Jake, about 2 months ago was when I became certain the fight was going to end the same as it always does. Again, Anderson, I love you, but you're going to be face down, horizontal by the end of the night.
Sorry, sir, can you please identify yourself? What's your outlet? Anderson, you need to join. This is what needs to happen now. I'm getting too
But
excited.
Logan was like, yo, are you sure you want to do this? It's Anderson Silva.
Anderson needs to join the bloodline after all of that smack talk and go to Saudi Arabia.
That's crazy because everybody asks me the same. You sure you go to that? You said Jake Paul. You sure? He's beating a lot of guys in UFC. You think? Yeah, I say yes. I think I'm ready for that. You know, he's younger than me, but I'm superhero.
And just one last question is for you.
For the first time ever, like Logan talked more shit to my opponent than I ever did.
I love you, man. I love you.
Spider, future UFC Hall of Famer, got one question for you. GSP, he's added to this broadcast. We never got to see the legendary matchup in MMA. Any chance you get through Jake Paul, you will campaign to face GSP inside a boxing ring?
Wow, I think that's good. You know, that's wow. First of all, you need to check it out. The GSP is out the contract at UFC.
Oh.
And because I think GSP can come and doing something special, the same us, you know.
I have a bet.
You do?
I have a bet.
Wow.
I have a bet for you, Anderson.
For Anderson, okay.
All right. It's a good one. It's a good one.
No.
All right, so look. If you win, I'll give you something that you probably want.
Okay, you start again. No tattoos.
No.
No tattoos.
No, if you win, I will fight you in an MMA fight.
Whoa!
Wow.
You're so smart because I don't fight MMA anymore. You're so smart.
Kickboxing.
I got you.
Kickboxing.
Okay. Kickboxing. All right.
Kickboxing. But if I win, me and you come together to create a United Fighters Association to help UFC fighters get better pay and better health care. You become the interim president, and we unite to help these fighters once and for all.
Deal.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's official right there. So again, if you lose, you will fight him in a kickboxing match? You're sure about this? Before we make it 100%. Kickboxing, not MMA?
No, MMA, no, it's too hard.
It's too hard, so kickboxing.
Too hard. Yeah, kickboxing.
Kickboxing.
Right.
And if you win, he is going to help you start essentially an MMA Fighters Association, a UFC Fighters Association.
Correct.
Not UFC Fighters Association, but MMA Association for help
all
MMA fighters.
All fighters to help them get increased fighter pay and long-term health care.
Wow, you're down with that?
Yeah, deal.
Dr. Mike's going to jump in too. You're going to be a part of this also, Dr.
You
Mike.
guys need a medical commissioner. Hit me up.
Perfect. Dr.
No,
Mike's gonna be your-
and we need all the help we could get. You know, guys like Francis, Israel. You know, even Andre Ward spoke about this in the boxing world. GSP's tried to make this happen before, so we would just need all the help we.
The greatest middleweight champion in the history of the UFC, one of the greatest fighters in the history of mixed martial arts, the man who shocked the boxing world when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and beat him last year, the one and only, the inimitable Anderson Silva. It's the new school versus the old school. It's the MMA legend against the social media legend. It's Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul, and the stakes have been raised. You heard it moments ago. There is an actual belt on the line. between these two guys. There's a belt and a bet.